빛을 가려다.
Oneus chose to do No Diggity for their 2-ace mission. We also know that the boys entertained doing Luna for this mission, but didn't. Instead, we got Luna as their unlimited mission, and it was magnificent and beautiful. But in an alternative universe, what did Luna as their 2-ace mission look like? In this video, I'll talk through some ideas of how this might have looked like using the imagery we received from the Luna Road to Kingdom performance. As usual with anything I make, just have fun and don't take anything too seriously. First, let's talk a little bit about what No Diggity and Luna are conveying. At the core, they are both love songs, with No Diggity being bombastic and loud. It's a declaration that our love is no diggity or no doubt. Luna, on the other hand, is a soft love song about loving someone and missing them. No Diggity lends itself to a group performance that does not require an overt love story. Hence, we got a legendary Mad Max theme with Han-ung and Soho as the aces, playing guitars and rapping. This works well because it showcases Oneus' main dancer and main vocal. Conversely, Luna is a soft love song where an overt love story of some sort would excel in a Road to Kingdom performance. If Oneus did Luna with 2 aces and used the imagery we received in their unlimited mission, what would we get? I think there are really 2 options. The first option is that we would get something akin to a period BL story. BL is a genre called boys' love that is about romantic relationships between 2 male characters. The second option is where the 2 aces are in conflict with the female dancer's tragic demise as the result of their conflict. Musically, Luna doesn't necessarily lend itself well to this, but I don't think it is impossible. Some rearrangement or additions of raps, like Han-ung's and Soho's raps in No Diggity, could well represent a face-off between the 2 aces. I think, however, a stronger and more compelling story of Luna would focus on 2 characters without a third stand-in. Option 1 is easier to reimagine given the Luna imagery we have. I won't discuss option 2, but I'm just saying it can exist in various forms. Let's talk through option 1. Soho is the ace for Luna, so who would be the second ace? I think any of the boys could have been the second ace for Luna, but I'm going to go with Keonhee. In the Luna Road to Kingdom performance, we got Xion, Han-ung, and Ito have great solo parts with props and choreography that highlight their parts in the story. Keonhee alternatively got the chorus, and all his choreography comes straight from Luna's original choreography. In other words, Keonhee never has visually stunning parts like the rest of the boys. Xion has a beautiful lift over a flower bed, Han-ung is in a box and breaks through a paper frame, Ito dances among weapons. Also, as we'll see, their parts are mirrors from Act 1 to Act 2. The lack of visually impactful parts gives Keonhee more leeway to portray the second ace in our reimagined version. Keonhee's parts are also the easiest to manipulate and change while keeping Soho's ace parts and everyone else's parts. Further, because Keonhee sings parts of the chorus, he is a perfect contender for the second ace of Luna. So these different reasons and wanting some justice for Keonhee given his less impactful visual elements are why I chose him as the second ace. This ace mission then becomes showcasing the 2 main vocals of Oneus, but given the powerful imagery each member has throughout the song, this rearrangement would really highlight everyone. With that said, I love Xion's period look, and if we had a radically rearranged Luna, Xion would be my ace pick to accompany Soho. Xion totally needs to be cast in a period drama. He is perfect Xion for a reason. Finally, a disclaimer. Whenever I refer to any of the boys in this reimagined version, we are talking about their characters, not about the boys themselves. This is necessary to avoid conflation of who the boys are offstage and the story they are presenting. So let's dive into what a traditional Luna would look like with Soho and Keonhee as aces, building off the story we got in the Luna performance. The story we'll work through is a tragic soulmate story between these 2 aces characters. As we walk through this, I'll talk about how I think some of the blocking would look like, and how the props could be used to convey the aces' unique identities and their story. I'll also comment for when and why I make changes to some of the story beats in the RTK performance. I'll argue that some of this is necessary when you have a second main character. Finally, because I'll be describing visual elements of which there is no footage, you will have to use your imagination. Now to the opening. Soho walks up his side of the bridge. He is singing the Bridge of Luna, which Han-ung sang in the original Luna. In this reimagined version, Soho does not sing the entirety of the bridge. He sings half of it. On the other side of the bridge, Keonhee is also walking up the bridge, and he finishes off that part of the song. They look across from the ends of the bridge at each other. In the performance we got, Soho is always shown on this part of the bridge, which means the other half is underutilized. Yet bridges are symbolic because they connect the unbreachable together. We never see the female dancer cross the bridge, though it's probably implied. They just meet on the bridge. In this version, I want to make it clear that Keonhee and Soho are from two opposing worlds. The bridge is a metaphor, but also a physical manifestation of two worlds coming together. We will use this space to convey the story. So we have the two aces on their steps singing and looking at each other. This is their first meeting. Jump to the VCR. So the VCR would set up the background. It'd be something like, cursed to become a demon, under a blood moon, a prince wanders under the night. Only a sacrifice of great cost can break the curse. Unexpectedly, the cursed prince meets the prince of the heavenly realms. What is their fate? Now, this is a rough and not very well-written overview, but it's enough to give us the premises of who the characters are, the importance of the curse, and how it can be broken. Now on to Act 1. We drop back into the scenery. Our two aces are on the bridge and are no longer on the sides. This suggests to the viewers that some time has passed and they've made the choice to meet on the bridge. Soho sings the first line of Luna in the original version and in the RTK2 version. In this reimagined version, Soho and Keonhee should split this opening verse. I think props are extremely important. Fans play a very important role in Luna. In this reimagined version of Luna, Keonhee's character gives Soho's character a fan that is painted differently from all the fans used in the performance. What is on this fan? I'll leave to your imagination, but I like to think it looks a lot like the fan we see Ido, Xion, and Keonhee flashing in the Luna MV. The fan has a moon on it and is symbolic of the blood moon curse and the song Luna itself. This prop then represents a gift of love and identifies Soho's fan as different from the other fans used in the production. Now drop to Xion, Han-ung, and Ido's parts. Xion, Han-ung, Ido ultimately portray the people of Keonhee and Soho's worlds through their interactions with the two aces and their roles in the different acts. So here we find ourselves in the world of the kingdom's everyday life. This could represent Keonhee's kingdom, because Keonhee has a small part in this. Now we move to the pre-chorus dance showing a wilderness scenery. First of all, let's pretend Keonhee's not in this scene. Instead, we have transitioned from Keonhee's world into Soho's world. He is out and about with Xion, Han-ung, and Ido, who now reflect the people of his cursed kingdom. We go to the chorus. Luna's original chorus followed a pretty similar pattern in which it went Soho, Keonhee, Soho, Ido. In the RTK2 version, the chorus is rearranged to Soho, Soho, Keonhee, Ido. Now that we've elevated Keonhee to second ace, he should sing the entirety of the second part, so it becomes Soho, Soho, Keonhee, Keonhee. Soho sings his part of the chorus, and he and Keonhee share some kind of dance. When they dance together, Soho will be using the fan Keonhee gave him. Keonhee, on the other hand, has a fan prop but does not open it. The screens behind open up and Soho leaves. Keonhee joins the other boys and dancers to sing the second part of the chorus. This signifies that Keonhee and Soho have separated and returned to their people. Here is when we get Keonhee's fan reveal. In this part, only the backup dancers dance with fans, but in this reimagined version, Keonhee does as well. This is necessary to mark him as the other ace. His fan will be different from everyone else's. In my reimagining, Keonhee's fan is decorated with red spider lilies. This will be the first time we see Keonhee's fan, and it will act to foreshadow his fate. Now on to Act 2. We pan up to Soho as the blood moon falls. He is shown with his mask, showing that he is becoming a demon. I actually don't really like this scene because it happens really fast and there isn't really any emotional weight in it. Instead, I think it's better to show a shot of the moon turning red and have Soho's demon reveal in the dance break. Now we drop to Han-ung, Xion, and Ido's parts. They now portray how Soho's kingdom is undergoing transformation as the blood moon curse falls. Literally, the monster within is tearing out. Life is dying, violence is coming. And we get the red spider lily image in the background. We pan up for a close-up of Keonhee's spider lily fan and zoom out to see him standing on Soho's side of the bridge. This tells us he has left his kingdom, crossed the bridge, and has entered Soho's world. He does some kind of choreography with his fan, raising it from the sky to draw it to himself. I'd argue that every kingdom knows Soho's kingdom is cursed and stays away from him and his people. Keonhee is consciously going into the kingdom. He knows how to break the curse, and he isn't afraid. The demon dance break begins. Soho is revealed wearing a red robe over his white hanbok. He now becomes the embodiment of the blood moon curse. For the reimagined version, I think we want to externalize more of Soho's transformation. As the dancers dance behind him with their hands framing him, Soho holds his mask, his hands visibly and violently shaking as he draws the mask over his face, revealing he does not want to become a monster. He dances with the mask, which acts to replace his fan prop. He physically moves through space differently. In the earlier acts, we witness him dance elegantly. His movements are now disjointed, stilted, writhing fingers of pain and cruelty. Keonhee and Soho meet in the dance break. Keonhee recognizes Soho, but Soho doesn't recognize him in his demon state. I like to think elements of this dance mirror whatever choreography they share in the first chorus, where we see Soho dancing with the fan gifted from Keonhee. Now we have Keonhee dancing with his spider lily fan while Soho dances with his demon mask. In the performance we got, Xian said Soho kills the girl, but the imagery here is really quite opaque in terms of how this happens. Before Xian told us this, there were different theories. I actually like the theory that the girl is captured to lure out the demons and is then killed better than Soho killing her. Visually, this story matches more what we actually see. In this reimagined version, I think Keonhee knows he has to die at Soho's hand for the curse to break. How Soho kills him doesn't have to appear very violent, but it does need to show it happening. I think Keonhee also knows that Soho will never forgive himself for killing him, so in his death, I think he makes an effort to comfort him. Perhaps he touches him lightly. When he dies, Soho realizes who he is and what has happened. He falls on his knees before turning to the audience and breaking his mask as the red retreats from the moon. We start panning to Soho's world breaking free from the curse. Ido symbolically takes off his red robe and tosses it to the ground. Xian is dancing openly again with a white moon in the background. Soho is symbolically lifted out of the curse in the choreo. He is clothed in white again. He sings the chorus dancing with his gifted fan. He and Keonhee share one last quick choreo dance. Keonhee, however, does not have his spider lily fan, visually telling us that he is no longer alive. As Soho finishes the first part of the chorus, Keonhee steps away from him and is covered by the backup dancers' fans. Soho turns, realizing Keonhee is not there. It was but a fleeting dream, and the reality that Keonhee is dead dawns on him. Soho leaves in grief as everyone around him is celebrating. The dancers with the fans covering Keonhee reveal him again. The second part of the chorus begins with all its jubilation, with colorful fans, flowing petals. Keonhee sings the entire second part of the chorus as life is teeming all around him. In his death, he has filled Soho's kingdom with life. As the chorus comes to a close, the backup dancers cover him with the fans and then step aside, revealing he is gone. But his voice echoes out as the chorus ends. He is dead, but his spirit of life is everywhere. By the way, if you prefer the curse is not broken and Soho kills Keonhee and then lives with regret for the rest of his life, you can basically keep everything the same from the demon dance break onward. But I'd argue that having the curse broken is necessary when you have two aces. Because the female dancer isn't an ace or part of Oneus per se, her role in the story is more limited. In some way, she lacks agency to intervene in the story or Soho's fate. A story with two aces allows the love story to shine more by showing how the two characters make choices that affect each other. Keonhee makes the choice to go to Soho's world. He makes the choice to give himself up to break the curse. In doing so, he doesn't realize that Soho would rather live in a cursed world than live in a world without him. While Keonhee's actions are externalized with his love reflecting in his sacrifice, Soho's are not obvious to the story. Believing himself dangerous and unlovable, his most important choice is to love and allow himself to be loved. His most important decision, that is externalized to the audience, is the one that occurs at the very beginning when he accepts the fan, that is, being loved, and carries it with him through the rest of the song. The performance closes with Soho walking up his side of the bridge, singing the same bit from the opening. There will be a slight pause before the part that Keonhee sang in the opening. Soho finishes the song and steps onto the bridge. He looks across, knowing that no one will ever come from the other side to see him. No one will share or complete his song. The curse is broken, his world and kingdom whole, but he is left broken. We close with him kneeling in grief, clutching the fan, the only tangible reminder of the person he loved. The camera pans out. Below a clear white moon, flowers bloom below. In his grief, he does not realize that the one he loves is everywhere around him. So that's a possible duo ace version of Luna, which uses pretty much everything in the performance we got, just with altered props and changes in choreo for Soho and Keonhee.
구름마저 달빛을 가려다